Good day everyone, my name is Rhea Angel A. Mariscal, and now I will be discussing to you the language of conversation. First, let's define conversation. Conversation refers to two or more individuals talking with one another. It is a people cooperate with each other to introduce or sustain a focus of attention by taking turns with each other. Going back to taking turns, it is need to be taking turns so that the conversation process will be more effective. So with this definition of conversation, we can actually say that conversation is a form of sociability and reflects individuals' ability and willingness to interact with each other. It is need to be a willingness so that the speaker or the listener will get the information they need. There are different expectations of conversational style and different strategies of participation in conversation, which may result in slightly different conventions of turn-taking. One strategy, which may be overused by long-winded speakers or those who are used to holding the floor, is designed to avoid having normal completion points occur. We all have used this strategy to some extent, usually in situations where we have to work out what we are trying to say while actually saying it, and this is commonly happen when we are in the oral recitation or face-to-face oral recitation, and sometimes we have a lot of pauses due to the fact that first, we don't have an idea about the topic, or second, we have a lot of ideas in our mind that we cannot express it thoroughly. If the normal expectation is that completion points are marked by the end of a sentence and a pause, then one way to keep the turn is to avoid having those two markers occur together. That is, don't pause at the end of sentences. Make your sentences run or by using connectors like then, so, but. Place your pauses at points where the message is clearly incomplete, and preferably fill the pause with a hesitation marker such as avoid interruption and to deliver your ideas clearly. So let's proceed to pauses and filled pauses. In the following example, note how the pauses are placed before and after verbs rather than at the end of the sentence, making it difficult to get a clear sense of what this person is saying until we hear the part after each pause. Example A. That's their favorite restaurant because they enjoy French food, and when they were in France, they couldn't believe it that that they had better meals back home. As we can see or as we can hear, we cannot clearly understand the ideas if the speaker won't finish what he was talking about. So, to understand and get the information clearly, we need to listen carefully to this person. In the next example, speaker X produces filled pauses like after having almost lost the turn at his first brief hesitation. For example, X. Well, the film really was, his later films were much more, really more in the romantic style, and that was more what he was. Best at doing. And the Y replied, "So when did he make that one?" As we can see or as we can hear, the X adds a lot of filler to make the listener identify that he's not or she's not done yet talking or sharing about the information he or she want to share. Next, according to Harvey Sachs, conversation are structurally organized phenomena which have some kind of order. Harvey Sachs is a sociologist from the University of California, and this is manifested by the so-called conversational interaction. So, let's define conversational interaction. It is an activity in which, for the most part, two or more people take turns at speaking. and it signifies that there should be an involvement of two or more people who are taking turns at speaking. So, let's proceed to general features of conversational interaction. First, typically only one person speaks at a time. Second, usually silence is avoided. Third, if two people talk at the same time, one of them stops. So let's try to understand this conversational interaction so we will understand more what conversation need to be structurally organized. First, typically only one person speaks at a time. This is very important concept in the communication process. So both ideas or both the speaker or the receiver of the message will clearly understand the message. Second, usually silence is avoided. In this area, you should be talking spontaneously about a particular topic so that the communication process will be effective. And the last, if two people talk at the same time, one of them stops or listens. And if other people talk, or others must be listening because this way also is part of showing respect to the speaker. So, I have an example here. A. Didn't you know that our class president will be having a meeting later at 3 p.m. but he's still riding a jeep because the traffic is so heavy? The B answered, but he must have been there by 2. And then the A answered again, yes, but you knew where it's going. For the most part, participants wait until one speaker indicates that he or she has finished, usually by signaling a completion point. Speakers can make their turns as complete in a number of ways: by asking a question, for example, or by pausing at the end of the completed syntactic structure like a phrase or sentence. Other participants can also indicate that they want to take the speaking turn also in a number of ways. They can start to make short sounds like usually repeated while the speaker is talking, and often use body shifts or facial expression to signal that they have something to say. And I know that we are commonly using that way sometimes if we want to share our ideas, or we want to sometimes interrupt or sometimes we want to interrupt the person speaking. And that's all for this lesson, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.